Well, America is going to hell. Some would say it's already there, but it's not. It's not near where it's going if things don't change. America is going to hell is one of the many good things that Trump said last night in his speech. By the way, welcome to American Reversion. If you watched his speech last night, I saw something in him that I've never really seen before. And I also saw in him as he was walking into the courthouse yesterday for that phony kangaroo court. Trump is pissed. I support Trump. Let me not quibble about this at all. None of this mamby-pamby, weak-ass, well, I like his policies, but I don't like his tweets, or he cheated on his wife, or I just can't support a man like that. You know, one of the reasons that he's having this trouble, and America is having this trouble, make no mistake, is because all the weak-ass people out there who adapted that kind of attitude and wouldn't support the person who was trying to fight against the collapse of this country. Well, I don't like the fact that he cheated on his wife. Well, just because you're perfect and have never committed a sin, the rest of us fall a little bit short of that, okay? Do I like it? No, I don't like that. I don't support it, okay? And even if he was a personal friend of mine, I wouldn't support that, okay? That doesn't have a damn thing to do with his policies and what he was trying to do for this country and has done for this country. And for the other little, for the other little, who really these are spies, make no mistake, the ones that say, well, he's just controlled opposition. He's a part of the deep state. Don't fall for that when you hear that from people. These people are operatives from the other side, because ask them, what do you base that on? Well, he was a Democrat when he was when he was in New York. He was friends of Clinton and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I was a Democrat. Ronald Reagan was a Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard, who so many people like to take shots at now, was a Democrat. And we all left because that party had changed into the Communist Party of America. These are people who make those kinds of statements. And am I trying to be insulting here? Yes, I am. Because either straighten up or leave this channel, because this channel is going to be about supporting what we should be supporting and getting this country changed around one way or another. All right? One way or another. And I am sick of this crap from these little weak-kneed mamby-pambies. I don't trust Trump. Okay, enough of that. Trump is pissed. I saw it in his eyes. You know, I made my living from, there's things you all don't know about me. I don't know if I'll get into it. Well, I'll just say the way that I lived my life. You pay attention and you know about people from their eyes. You watch their eyes. I saw a determination last night and a pissed. He is stone cold pissed. And I don't mean hot pissed. I mean he is cold pissed. And that goes beyond hot pissed. Okay? That means I have had it and I am going after them with everything. You know, everybody wondered whether that corrupt judge up there was going to try to put a gag order on him. And so they were wondering what was going to happen. Well, it turned out the judge didn't put a gag order on him, and Tacopino, who is he's kind of the lawyer that talks the most, Trump's lawyer, says, no, he handled it pretty well. He was complimentary of the judge, said he handled it well. He told both sides, hey, don't try to say anything that will inflame, you know, everything like this. So we wondered exactly how Trump was going to handle that in his speech last night. And he didn't care. He didn't care. I told Kelly afterwards, I said, well, it wouldn't surprise me if that judge tried to put a gag order on him now after what he said, because he went after everybody. He went after everybody. You know what? And he didn't pull any punches. He told the country exactly where the rabbit sat. And where the rabbit sits is right in the middle of a communist states of America. It has gotten to that point. Victor Davis Hansen made a great statement yesterday. Last night, I forget whose show it was on, Tucker, or who I like, Hannity, who I don't like. He's a shill. But Hannity at least will carry some good stuff if he's forced to for his ratings, okay? Tucker, who also people will come on, Tucker is controlled opposition. You know, going back to these people to say things like that, ask them, what do you base that on? I just know it. Okay. Anyway, Victor Davis Hansen, who is one of my favorite guys, he made the statement that the revolution we are in the middle of a revolution, and most people don't realize it. And you know, that made me think, he's exactly right, because what most people, we think about and we talk about, is there going to be a civil war? Is there going to be a revolution? And the two are different, and I've talked a little bit about that. But the thing is, what we haven't seen from this side, we talk about the decay of America, we talk about the collapse of America, we talk about the decline of our morals and our principles and our foundation and all that. But what we have not said, even I have not said, that we are in the middle of a revolution, but that revolution was from the other side, and it has been ongoing for a long time. Now, I would post the beginning of that real revolution in the 60s. Okay. Others would take it back to 1917, and I won't argue with that. After the Bolshevik and then the Russian Revolution, in which the Bolsheviks overtook the rest of the communists and became the Communist Party, there were great efforts throughout Europe and the United States to start communist parties. Now, many people don't realize that was the beginning. That was what caused World War II. That was what caused the rise of Hitler. And I know that most people don't know their history, so they don't have any idea what I'm talking about here. But the revolution in America, the communist revolution, started clear back then. Clear back then. We saw the real push for it we could see the push for it through our media clear back through the 50s. But in the 60s was when it really exploded. And we have been involved in a communist revolution, a quiet revolution being driven through our educational systems and our media ever since then. And it's finally gotten to the point to where if you just express what have been the most moderate, generally accepted ideas and principles held in the 1950s or even the early 60s, people now think that that is radical, right-wing, whatever, name your poison on that. It's gotten that far. They've been that good. They have been excellent. I read once before many of there's two books that I would suggest everybody get if you're serious about this, and you should be. The Naked Communist is one, and I've read the list, and once before, I read the list of the goals stated by the Communist Party of America in the 1950s. And I will again. I'll do a separate video on that. Maybe I'll do it for both channels. And Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. If you really want to understand what's going on here, you need to read those books, and you will understand. But the next thing you need to do, and the next thing we all need to do, is beyond understanding. It's one thing to sit around and go, "Oh, wow, I didn't know this," and then talk to the person next to us who agrees with the way we think, and we can nod to each other and say, "Oh yeah, that's exactly right." The problem is that that's what our side does too much. Way too often. We talk to each other. We stay within our echo chamber, and think that we're accomplishing something. We're not. We are not accomplishing anything if we don't go outside our circle and attempt to have an impact on the world around us. That's what these little commies have done. And we haven't. Okay? We haven't. We have been just kind of playing a defensive waiting game of, if we can just hold them off, everything will come back. No, it won't. They have been beating our brains in for 50 or 60 years. And the so-called conservatives, all they've been doing is, we just got to slow them down. We just got to stop them. The one guy who actually started pushing back, Trump, lost his support. They cheated. So what? So what? I used to teach my fighters because, I used to train fighters. I used to teach them because there would be bad officiating so often. Now, back in the day, the guys who were officiating had been fighters, so they knew what they were doing. Recently, the people who referee are the ones who couldn't make it as fighters. Okay, and they wanted little positions of power, and so we often got really bad officiating. But I would tell my people, so what? You need to beat your opponent so bad that no matter how bad the officiating is, there is no doubt who won. You need to win this fight. I say, not on points. I used to tell my people, don't win a fight on points. Win it by knockout or submission, period. And that's what we need to be doing here. That's what we need to be doing. So I will read that communist list on another video, but it is time for everybody to get up off their asses, do something, stop being ashamed of standing for something. Okay. Oh, I know it's easy to talk big when we're in our little groups, and everybody agrees, right? Yeah. How many people are out there actually talking and being assertive in promoting the proper way to do things, the proper principles in the world around them? But I'd lose my job. Screw you. I used to do it. Plenty of people used to do it. We didn't lose our jobs. We didn't lose our jobs until the you-know-what. Trump I'm going to start wearing this hat on this. Anybody that doesn't like it, leave. The rest of you, please share this. Share this video. Would you share this video, please? I don't really ask this very much, but it's time for all of us to get more involved. And one of the things, I'm going to read a list here on another video of the things you can do. And the things that the people can do who are on American Reversion are much different than the people on Integrative Preparedness. Because you're all more politically involved. So I'm going to read a list of the things you can do, and one of the things you can do is share. First off, make sure you're subscribed, not just to my channel, to any channel that is promoting standing up for what's right in our country and trying to get it back. And then give a thumbs up and spread it around and share it. Share it with your friends, and then leave comments. These things drive. They've been beating our ass for too long because too many of our people just kind of hide. And I don't want to say too much. Okay, get up there and at least say something. I know many of you do. I'm talking to the ones who don't, right? So please share this. Oh, also, I never really talk about this very much. I've never shared this. If you want to read, and for those of you who are not familiar with this, I wrote a bunch of books on the way that America or a country should be, and it's called the Stonemont series, and it's been available on Amazon for years, and it's sold hundreds of thousands across the world. People have loved these. It's a post-apocalyptic series that explains exactly how to prepare for, how to survive, and how to rebuild after a total collapse. Well, our country is collapsing, and in the pages of these books, I don't just talk about surviving. I talk about the politics. I talk about the history of our country. I talk about how a government ought to be and ought not to be formed. And it's a great story. There's good guys, there's bad guys, and the good guys whip the asses of the bad guys. How about that for a good story? There are no conflicted heroes. There are no heroes who just can't understand, just can't, No. There's good and there's bad. There's good and there's evil. I believe in standing up for what's good and fighting against evil. How about you? Anyway, these are also now available through my new website, stonemont.us. Go on there. You can get them. I'll put the links down below. I always do, but I never mention it. The links down below, how to get them either through Amazon or directly from me by going to the website, stonemont.us. Tells you all about how to do it, and you'll love them. Now, in conclusion here, and again, did I say share this with people? Please make sure you're subscribed. Bump this up. Trump is pissed. You ought to be pissed. You need to understand that we are in a revolution. They have been trying to destroy our country for a long time, and they will succeed if you don't stand up and do something. You. Yeah, and me. Yeah, I'm not trying to tell you to do something I'm not going to do, but here I am, okay, talking about it. Hey, you leave a comment, support this. You start your own YouTube channel. I will support you. If you start your own YouTube channel, not that this channel is all that big, it's not, but I hope it gets bigger because it needs to, if you'll help me do it, and because we need to get this word out a little bit more, and we need to be more aggressive. But if you start a YouTube channel, let me know. I'll announce it all here. We'll get some of our people to join your YouTube channel, and then we've got another voice out there. See, that's what's going. That's what needs to be done. So Trump is pissed. He is the only fighter out there. And we got a couple. Jim Jordan, we'll see. Okay, I think he is. But too many in Congress have made a lot of noises in the past and not followed through. Trump is a fighter. DeSantis might be a good guy. Trump is the only one who will turn this around if it's not too late. And if you want it turned around, I suggest you get out there. I'm going to start wearing this out in public all the time, except when I'm ordering food, right? Don't wear a cap like this when you're going through a drive-through line or ordering a food in a restaurant, because you don't want to eat those kinds of things you don't want to eat that the other side is so good about putting in your food, right? Okay, that's what the other side is, guys. Why placate them? Why not fight against them? Okay, we got a lot of people out there talking about what big patriots they are. And I'll talk about proper patriotism in another one. I've got it written down, maybe later today. I don't know. We'll see when I get around to it. Cynthia over at Roots, Rocks, and Feathers had a great comment on yesterday's. I would suggest you go back and read it because I'm going to read it in its entirety in the next one. And it talks about this, and it made me think about that. Talking about proper patriotism. Okay. I'll conclude this because I could go on for hours on this stuff. But get pissed, get out there, do something, stop hiding, support somebody who's actually going to fight. And I know I'll lose, I don't care if I lose subscribers over this. I don't want to talk to people who are so mamby-pamby. They'll go, I don't like the way he talks. Okay, are you familiar with the saying, I'd rather fight an army of lions led by a sheep than an army of sheep led by a lion. Okay, think about that, and then it'll make sense. Trump is a lion. Got a lot of sheep out here, right? But a lion needs to be the leader. He's the only lion I've seen for many, many years. All right, remember, America needs a reversion, is what I've always said, but we need a counter-revolution. I think that's what it is. We need a counter-revolution because we are in a revolution. It's time to understand that, to accept it, and to start dealing with it appropriately. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.